Trying to get it inside. Pringle with a good header. Clears it back out. Turned around by Barry Lynch. Taken down is number 11, Jimmy Kelly.
That's a good example of a fine tackle right there, because he closed right down on him and he just scissored him and didn't allow him to get that ball away from him and drive it toward the goal mouth.
Foul call and a free kick awarded to Portland. It'll be taken by Kelly, the little Irishman who's done an outstanding job this year. Cleared out again by Tampa. Best gets it over to Sissons. Back to Best. They're trying to get it back to Best. Portland. That's Witt. Back to Anderson. Kick floated by Chris Dangerfield. And an easy play for the goalie, Paul Hammond. Here come the Tampa Bay Rowdies. No serious scoring threats on either side so far. Tom McLaren, number 7 of Portland, controls the ball near midfield. Setting up the play now for the Timbers, up to Barry Powell. Powell back cross field to Anderson. Anderson joined this team 3 games deep into the season, and he's been outstanding. Here's a shot, and Hammond, backpedaling quickly, goes up high to pull it down.
You know, the excitement of soccer is the continuous action, and you can see already, Frank, the pace is just unbelievable. Both clubs attacking at midfield, both of them moving up and down. There's a lot of running going on out there.
There's not a seat to be had here at Spartan Stadium. In fact, it's standing room only. Many of the fans standing around in the hills following the action. Portland trying to get it across midfield. Get the ball up to Witt. Couldn't do so. Back to the goalie. Hammond punting the ball beyond the offside line. Good healthy kick. Barry Lynch couldn't control it on the far side. It'll be thrown in by Scullion. Crazy George doing his number immediately beneath us, leading the cheers. Oh, he is some character, I'll tell you.
I wonder what kind of auditions they had to get that job, Frank.
I don't know, but I imagine the hairdo helps a little bit. Corner kick awarded to Tampa. John Sissons, number 14, will take it. He'll try to feed that thing right into the goal mouth. Stuart Scullion is inside there. Best is also in the area. Good play defensively by Portland. Here's Powell trying to control it for Portland. Taken away by Connell. Young 18-year-old players from South Africa, one of the standouts of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. There's a collision there between Scullion, number 10 of Tampa Bay, and back there along with him, Brian Godfrey.
On that last corner kick that we saw, Frank, you can see how close that wall and the fans are to the playing field, and the coaches were saying all you have to do is flick it because you're not very far, 55 yards across this field to the goal mouth. So that's going to have a key factor, I think, later on when the corner kicks increase.
Portland may have just a little more speed than Tampa Bay, so the narrow field might hinder the work of their wings just a little bit. These teams are so close statistically. I mean, it's just minute. Tampa's second in the league in scoring with 46 goals. Portland was third with 42 goals.
Both clubs also gave up 27 goals a season, while Tampa had 47 offensively and Portland 43. So as you can see, there's only a difference of 4 goals in the overall statistical department there.
Free kick for Portland here following the violation. That is a block by Hammond, as the header by Graham Day was close, and that's the closest thing we've had to a goal so far, as Hammond really had to scramble to his right. Throw it, far side, Portland. Now it's the Timbers applying the pressure. With an attempted header, gets it back out near midfield, turned around by Tom McLaren. Inside the penalty area, it's a dangerous place to be. Tampa Bay starts it upfield.
Okay, we'll take a look at it again up in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Hammond did the right thing. He stayed cool even though he was under pressure, and the header dropped right in front of him, and he saw that he had a Portland man in front of him. He just kind of flicked it out of the way and removed the ball from a dangerous area.
Tampa in the green. John Boyle, the captain, sending it back to Pringle, in turn back to the goalie, Paul Hammond. Still first half action here at Spartan Stadium, and no score in the North American Soccer League Championship game. That's Smithers, leading scorer, number 12. into Lindsay. Lindsay inside the penalty area. Trying to drive it away. The shot is wide. Brown didn't know which way to commit himself there, and Lindsay had a golden scoring opportunity. Goal kick for Portland. More championship soccer action in just a moment.
It's a real Japanese restaurant. Take off your shoes.
Uh-oh, foot odor.
Let's go eat Italian.
Now a patented discovery, Johnson's Odor Eaters.
Soft foam insoles blended with odor-destroying charcoal. Odor Eaters work all day to absorb perspiration, destroy odor of feet, socks, and shoes.
Hey, these odor eaters are really odor eaters.
It's the charcoal.
Guaranteed to work or money back from Johnson's Odor Eaters, Co. Incorporated.
As we take a look at it again, and continuous live action goes on, Lindsay came all the way from his midfield position and played a position as a forward, and that's, as you look at it, as you can see, the fluid aspect of this game. You're not tied to a midfield position. You can come up, and he had the goalkeeper. He had Brown completely out of position, and it was just that he couldn't get much of a foot on it to put it into the net.
All right, Tampa Bay following the violation. Now with the pressure. Number 5 is Linton. Easy play for Graham Brown, the goalie of the Portland Timbers. These teams have been here most of the week, working out prior to this game. Portland, as we said, like Tampa Bay, an expansion team, started the season rather slowly. They drew 8,000 their first game, wound up drawing 31 and 33,000 in their last 2 playoffs games. Anderson gets it across. This could be trouble. Headed out of there by Linton. More pressure now. That's Kelly. Finally getting it out of trouble. Tampa Bay, best up near midfield. Number 10 is Stuart Scullion, spectacular dribbler. Scullion, right winger, guarded very closely by Lynch. Working toward the right corner, waiting to set it up. Floats it inside the penalty area. Smithers couldn't put enough steam on that one, and right into the stomach of Graham Brown.
That play was set up beautifully because Smithhurst just looped in front of the goalkeeper, and he thought, well, maybe I'll just drop it over him. But not to be done. Graham Brown right there, and he took it for an easy handle.
Fired out by Brown, a whistle and a foul near midfield. It's called on number 13. Stewart jumped.
Frank, another indication you can see both clubs want to score early and get on that scoreboard is the fact that they are bringing their midfielders up into forward positions, putting anywhere from 4, maybe 5 or 6 guys up into that front area, trying to create chances, trying to create scoring opportunities.
Kelly throws it in at 5'6" and 140. He's probably the smallest player on the field. Tampa Bay's John Boyle. He has a nickname. They call him the Enforcer. He's a tough customer back there on defense. With going to the far side to Kelly, trying to get around Connell. And the foul call over on the far side against Kelly. Free kick, Tampa.
Again, we can take a look at it up in the left-hand corner of your screen. It was a foul there. The ball's turned over, and Tampa now will retain position, and they'll kick it downfield, getting it out of a dangerous area. Again, the checking and the marking extremely close here. Exactly what we expected. It's just tough out there.
Graham Day with that long boot trying to reach width. He's a dangerous man. Barry Powell on the outside. That's Kelly. And Boyle taking over for Tampa. Boyle sends it upfield. Smithers couldn't catch up to it at midfield.
Well, Frank, next Saturday afternoon, CBS Sports begins its extensive coverage of the America's greatest tennis event. Of course, that's the U.S. Open Tennis Championships from Forest Hills, New York. Over the next 2 weekends, we'll be broadcasting 11 1/2 hours of tennis action, featuring all of the great names from both the men's and women's tennis. The U.S. Open Tennis Championships. Don't forget, it's beginning next Saturday afternoon on CBS.
Anderson in the near corner for Portland, trying to center that ball over the head this time of With, the target man inside. Here's a shot on goal, and it's just wide of the mark, but touched by the goalie. It goes over the goal line. That will result in a corner kick for Portland. Pretty strong shot there unleashed by Lynch.
Well, Lynch is the type of guy that can take it from 35 yards out, and he can put it just about anywhere he wants near the net. let's watch as they line up here and notice how tight they are into the inside and how Tampa is dropping back men, their defenders, to mark Peter With especially, because that is the target man that Portland will be aiming for. Peter With.
All right, here's the corner kick, and coming out of it, pull it down is Paul Hammond. Quickly, coming out to near midfield to Sissons. Near sideline to Linton. Linton looks upfield. Left foots it over the head of Bess. Smethers trying to run it down, but the goalie, Graham Brown, comes out to the very edge of the penalty area. He can come out to the edge and still handle that ball, but once he steps outside of that penalty area, he's just like any other player, just restricted as far as use of his hands is concerned. Other end of the field it goes. Paul Hammond starts it up to Pringle. Pringle to the near side. A little bit too much on that one. Over the touchline, it'll be a Portland throw-in.
A few words about the people of Tampa and the people of Portland, Oregon, because they have supported these two clubs beautifully. They had 22,000 for that game against Miami between Tampa, and of course they had better than 60,000 for the two playoff games they had up in Portland, and that just goes to show you that the people are beginning to believe in the sport of soccer. And it's going to be here for a while.
I believe so. Dangerfield was sprawling there, and so did Scullion. Anderson controls for Portland. It is getting a little bit rough. Lindsay colliding there with Godfrey, and we had a foul called on Lindsay of Tampa, resulting in the free kick.
We're going to take a look at it again. You talk about intimidation. That's something that you cannot afford to have in soccer, because if you scare one guy, you're going to beat him the next time you face him. And both clubs are going right at each other, and I have to repeat what I said before. It's tough out there, Frank.
Brian Godfrey, number 6, is 35 years old. He's the real veteran of this Portland team, taking the kick there into Anderson. Anderson with the cross, and Pringle boots it away. Pringle nearly kicked that thing out of the hands there. The goalie, Paul Hammond, took his hands with it. More championship soccer action in just a moment.
You know, Radio Shack's tremendous factory direct purchase means you can get this famous Archer TV antenna at the super low price of only $19.88 at Radio Shack stores nationwide. Worn out antenna, new set, or just looking for better TV and FM reception? Well, here's the answer at a price you can easily afford. Radio Shack has all the accessories for easy do-it-yourself installation. The Archer Super Color Special Antenna. And there's only one place you can find it. Radio Shack.
Frank Gleaver with Ron Barr and Kyle Rowe Jr. at Spartan Stadium in San Jose, California. North American Soccer League championship game. The Portland Timbers in white and the Tampa Bay Rowdies in green. No score. 12 minutes, 50 seconds left to play in the first half. That's John Boyle, the captain of the Rowdies, number 4. Trying to get it across the offsides line, taken away, and a good defensive play by Barry Powell. Powell has been all over the field. Up to Peter With. With is being marked very closely by number 13, Stuart Jump.
You're talking about the players being all over the field. That's one of the concepts of soccer. You may be a winger on the right side, but then you'll see him at home on the screen, maybe playing on the left side. That's the fluid aspect of the game. There's a lot of flip-flopping done out there, but as long as the team gets done what they're supposed to, moving that ball down the field, that's all right, the coaches say.
Hammond kicking the ball the length of the field. Saved from going out of bounds by Best, and a beautiful play. He gets it into the middle. Smithers with a header. And a diving save there by Brown, who was almost caught off balance there and had to scramble to get back into the position.
Let's take a look at it again in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Smithers just barely gets his head on it, and Brown wasn't, again, sure which way to go, but it wasn't hit hard enough that it did really any damage.
Pass by number 13, Chris Dangerfield, sailing over the head of Tom McLaren on the far side. It'll be a Tampa throw-in in their offensive end of the field, about 35 yards out. Rowdies and the Timbers at 0-0 late in the first half. Tight defensive game as everyone expected. Portland starting upfield. Godfrey starts it going. Out of bounds to the far side. Going to be thrown in by Mike Connell, number 6.
Godfrey is a defender for Portland, and he has a big responsibility. Again, he's going to have to watch out not only for Smithers, but Best, both of them hanging around the goal mouth, and they affectionately call Godfrey the Godfather. Never asked why, though.
Boy, look at Graham Day, number 5 of Portland. He is just all over Clyde Best. He is marking him very close. Out comes Brown. Brown looked like he wanted to start what would be the equivalent of a fast break going, but couldn't find anybody to go to.
Vic Crow yesterday said that he hoped that his players would be ready for this game. He says because in many championship contests, Frank, sometimes the game passes the players by, but from what we've seen out here, both clubs came to play.
Stewart jumped guilty of the foul. Free kick taken by Barry Powell. Number 8. Now let's see if Powell takes it. He's closest to the ball. Now Powell runs by it. Taken instead by Godfrey, aiming for the target man, Peter With, who's been contained very well by a combination of Stewart Jump and Alex Pringle.
Quite a confrontation there between Pringle and Godfrey.
More championship soccer action in just a moment.
You're the pro, George. I need some new tires. What kind should I get? You're holding the answer in your hand.
X-Fly tires?
Turn it around, Frank.
Dunlop. Dunlop tires, of course.
Sure, Dunlop's one of the largest tire manufacturers in the world. That means a lot of people are putting a lot of trust in Dunlop on the road.
When you want to get more out of your drive, see a pro. That's me. See your Dunlop Pro. If you like us on the fairway, you'll love us on the freeway.
Goal kick. Paul Hammond, Tampa Bay goalie. Rather weak this time, just barely out to midfield. Turned around and an over-the-head kick by Barry Powell. Scramble for the ball near midfield. A couple of players go down. John Boyle, number 4, the Rowdies. It's a to Sissons. Sissons trying to clear it down the near touchline. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw in Tampa, and Sissons comes right back with it to Clyde Best. Best, number 9, trying to get it inside to Lindsay. Lindsay couldn't find it. That was Chris Dangerfield, number 13, who was fouled, of Portland.
And what a beautiful job Chris Dangerfield did. You can see in the upper left-hand corner of your screen they were moving into an attacking position right in front of the goal mouth, and he just came in and he just tackled the ball right away from the Tampa player. And that's what you're going to have to do to win soccer games.
No score here as the East meets the West. Portland, the Western Division champions, against Tampa, the Eastern Division. Here's Witt. Here's a shot on goal. Deflected by Hammond. Number 13, Dangerfield, unleashing that solid right-footed boot. And will result in the corner kick on the far side, going to be taken by Willie Anderson, number 12.
Dangerfield came up from his midfield position to team up with Witt, who had control of the ball, and he just put a boomer from about 35 yards out, and Hammond had to be on his toes and just deflected.
Witt trying to get a shot at the header there, colliding with the goalie, Paul Hammond.
I wonder if they're talking about each other's vacation plans.
I doubt it. Down it comes, header by Brian Godfrey. Tom McLaren trying to save it, going out of bounds for Portland. Being contested by Smithers, shuts it back to his goalie, Graham Brown. Portland has been a great home team this year. They've won 10 of 11 games at home in Portland, 6-5 on the road. Tampa has been pretty equally proficient at home and on the road. 9-2 at home, 7-4 on the road. Lindsay, number 15 of Tampa. Boy, he wants that ball. He's chasing everybody for it.
Portland seems to be controlling the midfield area right now, Frank. Therefore, they're able to keep a little more pressure on the Tampa goal area. And we're going to have to see if now Tampa doesn't make some adjustments and try to open it up in the midfield.
Last touch by Jimmy Kelly, little winger of the Portland Timbers. Again, Tampa with the throw-in. Tampa trying to do outdoors what they couldn't do indoor. They got to the championship game, Cow Palace, which we televised for you on CBS, lost to San Jose. Now they're trying to win the outdoor championship. The 9th North American Soccer League championship game from San Jose. Clyde Best inside, guarded closely by Graham Day. Scully, number 10. Cleared out of trouble by Portland. Here's Witt trying to run this one down for Portland, but can't get to it in time, and Pringle easily gets it back to his goalie, Paul Hammond. Hammond has recorded 3 shutouts, kicked this thing almost the length of the field. Foul called by number 14 of Tampa Bay, John Sissons.
CBS continues its coverage of America's foremost horse racing classics next Saturday afternoon when our cameras will be in Illinois for the Hamiltonian. It's the 50th running of the famous trotting event, and we'll bring it to you in its entirety. That's next Saturday afternoon beginning at 3 p.m. That's the Hamiltonian on CBS.
Dangerfield got the pass, back foots it. What a pass that was.
Did you see that, Frank? It was behind him, and he just kicked it over into the center.
Perfectly passed. Here's Smithers. Left-footed shot is wide. Leading scorer for the Tampa Bay Rowdies had a shot at it with the left foot, Derek Smithers. Let's look at that play again. Spectacular piece of footwork there. Goal kick being set up by Graham Brown. 5 minutes, 15 seconds left to play in the first half. No score. Portland and Tampa Bay. I tell you, a goal is starting to look pretty big right about here. Barry Powell, little one-on-one with Boyle. Foul is called on Boyle. Most of Portland's fans are over there on the far side. And they've got a goodly contingent on hand. Brian Godfrey, veteran defender, will take the free kick from just outside the offsides line, pumps it inside the penalty area. Day is in there with the header. Day went up high. Couldn't get good direction on it. It's a battle in there involving Peter With.
Well, they got another corner kick situation coming up, Frank. And again, we have to point out, as you can see at home, the fans are right up there and can almost touch the Portland player on the back, and they're lining up in front of that net now.
Powell will take the corner kick into the goal mouth. Headed out of there very nicely by Connell. Controlled by John Sissons, number 14 to Best. Trying to get it up to Boyle. Goalie is coming out. Good play by Graham Brown with a diving save. That was a gamble that paid off. First ball is not the fastest of the Rowdies. I'm sure Brown took that into consideration. Here's Boyle again. Has it taken away from him this time by Kelly. Starts it downfield as Witt goes up for the header. Foul is called on Stewart Jump.
And he rightly deserves that name because he was head and shoulders above the Portland player. Boyle came up from his midfield position. It was a one-on-one situation against Graham Brown, who is the Portland goalie, and Brown just got to it a little bit earlier.
With, by the way, is being double-teamed. Good part of this ball game by Jump and by Pringle. They're both on him at the same time. There's With, leading scorer. Feeds it back out. The shot by Powell is blocked. Connell trying to get it out of there. Now Kelly, number 11 for Portland in the far corner. Contest for the ball near midfield. Kicked out of bounds and last touch by Portland.
Frank, I'm duly impressed by the fact that both clubs, which have many skillful players and like to use the open spaces to their advantage, and they really don't have it here, have been very effective against each other. We've seen some excellent footwork.
Tell you, Hammond's got a little breeze with him, and with that breeze, he gets that ball up in the air, and he could almost kick it the length of the field on the fly. All the way down to the other end, and Graham Brown punting it out to near midfield. Tampa. Number 10 is Stewart Scullion. Scullion looking for a little penetration there. Runs into Barry Lynch and into problems. Over to Kelly. Kelly on the far side trying to get it down to With. Pringle back to the goalie, Paul Hammond. Less than 2 minutes left to play in the first half. Still no score. Sissons got his head on the ball. Couldn't control it. Out of bounds on the near touchline. And number Ray Martin will throw it in. Martin comes up to Anderson. As we look at the action from the Goodyear Blimp Columbia. 200 feet long, 60 feet high, holds 200,000 cubic feet of helium, and being used today for the first time in a soccer telecast. Capacity crowd on hand here at Spartan Stadium. And there's a good chance we'll go to the locker room with a scoreless deadlock at halftime. Minute and 15 seconds left to play in the first half. Pringle running this one down. Back to Paul Hammond. There's the blimp hovering overhead. Under the command of Charles Chamberlain. Graham Day up to Anderson. 49 seconds left to play in the half. Ball kicked out of bounds by Linton. How do they call a foul on Linton? Let's see. If a foul is going to be called here, and Portland will be given the free kick at midfield. Clock continues to roll here with 30 seconds left to play, and Clyde Best takes his time getting the ball back to Godfrey. Inside to Graham Day. Day tried to control. Shot is wide, attempted by Anderson. Goal kick here for Hammond. 10 seconds left to play in the half.
5 seconds.
A lot of action here and a lot of running. And some great defense on the part of both teams. And there is the whistle indicating the end of the first half with the score. The Portland Timbers nothing and the Tampa Bay Rowdies nothing. Fine first half of play here in the North American Soccer League Championship game at Spartan Stadium in San Jose. More championship soccer action in just a moment.
Problem dandruff? I used to be ashamed of my hair, thanks to problem dandruff. Then I learned problem dandruff's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something to take care of. Look, if your problem dandruff's anything like mine was, you may need proven medication. Tegrin shampoo is proven medication. Its anti-dandruff formula gets to the root of the problem. And used regularly, it leaves hair clean and healthy looking. Try Tegrin medicated shampoo. Get to the root of your problem dandruff.
This is soccer. The action's fast, exciting, non-stop. Kenner has put all the fun of soccer right on your tabletop with Kyle Rote Jr. Soccer. Kyle Rote Jr. Soccer. Non-stop action, like you see on the soccer field. It's a great game for kids and adults. Kyle Rote Jr. Soccer, a new game from Kenner.
We'll be back with more of the action in the North American Soccer League Championship game with Pele and Kyle Rote Jr. right after this word from your local station. Don't miss the Share Special with Bette Midler, Flip Wilson, and Elton John as guests. Tomorrow night at 8, 7 Central on CBS.
How much fill you want? Any?